Hey guys, we are back with solving two-step equations. This is an alternate form. Okay, so sometimes you're not going to get an equation that is like number 3 here, where the variable is being multiplied first and then being subtracted by a number. You might have a case like number 5, where the variable is being subtracted, a number is being subtracted from it first, and then multiplication or division are happening. So instead of addition of subtraction being the last thing to happen, addition and subtraction is now the first thing to happen. So when you've got equations like that, they're in reverse and they look something like that. All we're going to do is reverse the order of inverse operations that we use. So instead of eliminating the constant first, we are going to eliminate the coefficient first. So let's just, didn't even know I could do that. Let's just, eliminate the coefficient first and then eliminate the constant first, which means that we are going to be using, to get rid of a coefficient, that's through division or multiplication. We'll do that first. And then to eliminate a constant, we will do addition or subtraction. And in another video, I'll show you guys this thing called the onion method. For some of you guys that have a hard time knowing, like if you were given this worksheet, which problems do I add and subtract first and which problems do I multiply and divide first? We always eliminate from the outside and work our way towards the variable. But if that's not, if you're having a hard time visualizing that, I'll put that in the next video. But for right now, let's just get started. I'm going to do number 5 and number 6 with you, eliminating the coefficient first and then eliminating the constant. So if you remember from the last video, the first thing I have my students do is draw a line straight down the equal sign. Some kids like to do that at the very beginning of their whole worksheet just to give them somewhere to start. Some people just go one problem at a time. So like I said, for these type of problems, we are going to be getting rid of the coefficient first. Now, in this case, the coefficient or the number being multiplied or divided by k, in this case is, let me go back a sec, hold up. Yeah, okay. So in this case is this divide by 2, all right? K minus 10 is being divided by 2. And then I would ask, well, how do you get rid of a divide by 2? What is the inverse of dividing by 2? It is multiplying by 2. Just pretend that. Actually, why don't I just cover that with white? You can't see it. Okay. Then we'll go back to black. So yeah, how do we undo a divide by 2? We multiply by 2, all right? So the inverse of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. Now, some kids get uncomfortable with like, how do I write that? So as you can see, what I did is I put a dot for multiplication, and then I put a 2 kind of in like the numerator of what would be a fraction over there. So since this is a fraction, we can always think of division as a fraction. Multiplying by 2 is really 2 over 1. So you can write it as times 2 over 1, or you can just put times 2, how I had it originally. Either way is fine. Now, since I multiplied by 2 on the left side, I'm also going to multiply by 2 on the right side. And let's see what kind of happens here. Well, 2 divided by 2, 2 over 2 becomes 1. So that cancels out, and we're left with just k minus 10 equals. And then over here, negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. So that's how we handle any cases where there is a big division, a big fraction like that. We'll do the same thing over here. This is being divided by 2. So again, we will multiply by 2 on both sides. All right, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. It cancels out, and we're left with n minus 5 equals 5 times 2 is 10. All right, so that's the first step in these type of problems, is to get rid of that divide by whatever. Now we are just left with the variable, being added or subtracted to a number. So the opposite of minusing 10, if I want to get k by itself, is to add 10 to both sides, leaving us with k equals negative 14 plus 10 is negative 4. And then over here, how do I get rid of this minus 5? I plus 5, and n equals 15. All right. So again, I do think it's important to check your answer just to make sure you didn't make any mistakes. So I'm going to rewrite the equation. K minus 10 over 2 equals negative 7. And I'm going to, instead of using k, I'm going to use the number negative 4. We got k equals negative 4. So I'm going to put in negative 4 where k used to be. It's called substitution. So negative 4 minus 10 is negative 14 divided by 2 is in fact negative 7. So that checks out. Negative 4 is the correct answer. All right. And let's try over here. We have n minus 5 over 2 equals 5. So let me substitute in for n. This number here, we got n equals 15. So I'll put a 15 where the n used to be. 15 minus n is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So again, that checks out. So we do get these two answers, k equals negative 4 and n equals 15. That should help you guys with the rest of the problems from this worksheet. At this point, you have everything you need to solve this entire two-step equation worksheet. And then I highly suggest you checking your answers here, and any of them that you are still struggling with, please let me know so that I can help you through those. But otherwise, that's it for this video. I'm going to come back with solving multi-step equations next, all different types of multi-step equations. So come back for that video and let me know if there's anything else you want me to teach or show you how to do, and I will definitely do that. As always, stay cool.